one of the things that caught my eye was the provision for credit losses, which are up 29% to $1 billion. Does that surprise you at all? Does that indicate some weakness?
So I think we're going to have to, strip out that one-time or episodic charge, and really, I think it's more important to go line by line and look at the core trends in each of the businesses. Again, because of their
Caught their eyes. We are live streaming, Ashley. They can't see us, but they can hear us. Just to let you know, I won't be starting anything for show till 7, but just to let you know. Yes. I put a spell on you. Bum, 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 bum. 'Cause you're mine. Bam.
Larry thinks peers, do you think?
What you got for some tea?
Wilderness here, or is he really galvanizing people around this idea?
You know, it's interesting at EY, we have a project, we call it Project Embankment. We have 33 CEOs, asset creators, asset managers, signed up to how do we create metrics around long-term value. So when you're looking at Goldman's earnings and we're reporting, you know, what is the long-term value that Goldman's bringing to the market? How are they describing that? There's no metrics around it. Companies want to start to report it because stakeholders, Goldman's responding to its shareholders. What's the bigger concern is what are stakeholders saying? And that's a broader picture, and that's basically what BlackRock's calling attention to. That's what we're trying to do.
And we'll go quickly to one of our other Wall Street beat topics, David Einhorn.
London session.
You know, Larry thinks...
Was able to catch about 30 pips or so.
Lost about 15, got about 33.
And when you look at managers like David Einhorn, dare I say...
Well, and this is what he said yesterday
Disappointed.
in a letter. He said, this must be frustrating to our partners. It's certainly frustrating to us. I mean, do you love that? Like, hey, I'm real sorry our fund lost 1.6%. It was hard for you.
You must be frustrated.
Sit on the couch and tell me about it.
appears what they're getting killed on is his so-called bubble basket,
Right.
includes the likes of Tesla and things that he keeps saying we're going to bet against, and Caterpillar. He had a big bet against Caterpillar, which, as we know, has all of a sudden started
And,
shooting
and
those
I believe an unsuccessful short in Deere as well.
Yeah.
But it does go to show how hard it is to make money for the investors that we're used to, how hard even the macro environment is to be.
Right, and we've talked a lot about the macro environment and some of the names, whether it's Brevin Howard or Brokers or others, who really did not do
How you
well,
feeling?
to say the least,
Jasmine,
last
lemon
year
singer,
because of the macro
ginger,
environment and this
turmeric.
lack of volatility. Now, sort of trying to stitch it all together, if we do have more deal making, if we have companies who are more active, spending money, not just on some of the issues that you've been talking about, Beth, but also really doing deals again, does that make it a better market for some of these types
So
of
what you tie together, you hope some of those deals will be actually supporting infrastructure, supporting retraining of workers and things like that, which will be, we're down to a bit in the longer term rather than just a quick hit.
Right. And, clearly, at least some of the will is there. We'll see if the politics continue to line up, and we'll see if the politics line up with this lighter regulation that you've been talking about, and do companies really have the incentive to do all these things?
Well, every company's being disrupted right now, so everybody's looking for innovations, fintech, I mean, the banks, they're
Looking for something.
They're looking for something, everyone's looking for something.
Okay, many thanks to Bloomberg's Jason Kelly. And Beth Christmas will be staying with us. She's over vice chair of Public Health at UY.
I am taking a look here at what's happening in Bank of America and Goldman Sachs stock. So we're getting some headlines from the call for Bank of America. The CFO is saying that they see an effective tax rate for 2018 at 20%, so kind of bang in line with where Citi and JP Morgan were. In terms of Goldman Sachs, I mean, the headline that everyone's going to talk to, this is their worst quarterly fixed figure in nearly a decade. The last time they saw a print of $1 billion on a quarterly basis was in the middle of the financial crisis. Other areas have been coming in stronger. That number, no doubt, resonating, David.
No question about it. Okay, coming up, Speaker Paul Ryan releases a spending bill setting up a likely vote in the House Thursday to keep the government open. What I'm watching today, that's coming up next from Bloomberg.
No problem. This shit was all I knew. You and me only. Will you just do just hash? Also make me some eggs go with it. Put some eggs go with it.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm actually
Oh, you good? Okay. Yeah, we can't come up with some news. You ain't got a lot of room in this place. Shit. I'm trying not to bug it. Keep it at a 415 lot size today, but ain't mad at nobody.
Okay, so this is what I'm watching this morning, is House Speaker Ryan. He's now got a proposal he's going forward in the House to try to keep the government open. And basically what he's doing is he's giving something to everybody. He's giving, so the Democrats are going to extend the child health care program for 2 years for the
You don't
Republicans.
get hit.
We're going to cut some taxes. Still with us
Full
is
blizzard
Doug Booker,
2018.
CNBC's Global Vice
Don't
Chair
like
of
to go
Public
like he
Policy,
is
EY. Now this deal, I must say, is just to keep the government going until February 16th. This is not forever. This is just to keep it going. But people are playing hardball, saying, Democrats, I really dare you to vote this down, given that I'm taking care of children's health care.
Well, there's things, for the Democrats and, so they are, trying to get a deal. But it's a great example of the way Washington works when Washington.
Make sure ain't nobody on that beach.
And you're trying to do significant policy reform in this fashion is not.
Yeah, I was watching them. I was like, you know what? I've tried a few different ways or whatever. This one, I was like, you know what? It's okay if I can't hear anybody, because I don't like having to mute people anyway doing my live trading thing. I said, you know what? I'm gonna use OBS and put it on YouTube, live stream like this now. So you click the link on there, you can see the screen, hear what's going on. I'm YouTube live stream. I'm using OBS to live stream for YouTube, and I'm gonna be getting me a little webcam or whatever. So I said, you know what? I'll be able to hook it up like that. If I want to, I can put myself in the corner and they can see me or whatever. But I don't necessarily need to be seeing folks or whatever. Unless I got the chat up, so if somebody got something to say, they can put it in the chat.
In some ways, why the market is not at all taking this seriously. When do you feel like is the breaking point where we all need to be like, okay, this is for real, let's rethink things?
You sort of
12:01 on Friday.
Yeah, in some sense. I mean, you think about the people in the country and what they care about. They care about whether they have a job. They care about whether they're job ready and being trained for that. They don't care about whether the government shuts down. I mean, and so in some sense, people have tuned us out because everybody thinks that they'll come through at the last minute with a deal.
But the thing I don't understand with this administration is who's against the dreaming situation? I mean, the vast majority of people, if you poll them, say we want to let these people stay in. These are children that were brought here. It's not their fault. Their parents brought them here. Businesses, you say, businesses are this. What's happened to the connection between President Trump and the business community? I thought that was part of the reason he was elected.
Well, I think there's an issue as to how it came into being, and is that the right way? And there's some of the sticking point. And then what happened this week totally set everything, back and has us talking about, who said what to who.
How important is this issue to the business community? You go around and talk to businesses. How important is this immigration? Whether it's this or the visas or the various issues.
It's very important. For business, talent is our number one strategic priority. Getting the best talent. And that talent comes from a lot of countries, some of which have been described unfavorably. But that talent comes from everywhere. And the key is to get diverse talent. And you do that through the visa program's a big
But in fairness to the president said, even his unfortunate remarks were really directed to something broader, which is, let people in on merit, the way Canada does, rather than on a lottery system. Business can get behind that, couldn't they?
Business can get behind security.
Right.
But we need the top talent.
Right.
Secure. Entered securely.
Beth, it was a real pleasure to have you with us. Beth Brooke-Marcinak, Global Vice Chair of Public Policy for EY. Good perspective on global and U.S. Politics as well. Bank blitz. Bank of America takes nearly $3 billion hit from GOP tax bill and Goldman Sachs.
And it's 7 o'clock. What's good, everybody? Let me turn Bloomberg down. Don't mind me. Bloomberg up. We got our FX calendar up. It's Wednesday. We got some CAD news. Y'all know how much I love the CAD. CAD is who I fucked with. The trading lifestyle it is, good folks. It's what, 7:01. New York just opening, waiting on the bell to drop for the stocks and shit. I'm in here making some eggs and whatnot, hooking up. Ashley done hooked up some hash. It's the monetary way. Good morning, folks.
Heathrow Airport has made a number of proposals aimed at cutting $3.4 billion from the cost of expansion plans. Among them, a sloping runway that could be built to 2 different lengths. Heathrow also has proposed the phased opening of new terminals. The idea is to pay for the changes without significant hike in user charges. Delivering news 24 hours a day, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in more than 120 countries. Daily Lines, this is Bloomberg. Alex.
Thank you so much, Kaylee. Well, more on our top story today is bank earnings. The big highlight, first off with Goldman Sachs, is that FIC number, the worst quarterly FIC revenue since the financial crisis in nearly about 10 years. Bank of America eking out a gain. That call going on right now. Brian Moynihan talking about cryptocurrency, saying that people could buy it, just not at Bank of America. The company also saying that their effective tax rate for this year is about 20%. So for more of a breakdown of those results, we're joined by Allison Williams, Bloomberg Intelligence Senior Analyst for U.S. Banks. And on the phone, Jeffrey Hart, Sandler O'Neill Principal, joins us from Chicago. Jeff, first flex for you. What was your biggest takeaway?
I think in both cases they were noisy.
Let's shut Bloomberg up because we all know Monetary said it, if anybody said it. Let's see. Good morning. Let's see. First things first. You know, we're trading in our session. New York session just got popping. So we're about to see what's up. Of course, the first order of business is to always stick to the plan. So I'm going to pull up the trading plan just to get a look at it real quick while I take a bite of these good ass eggs. This is our first time doing a webinar where I can't see you guys, but you can, and you can't see me, but you can hear me and see the screen. Next time you'll be able to see me in the corner of the screen. But if you guys got any questions right now, anything like that, just type it in on YouTube. I can see it. I'll be able to answer any questions and whatnot, or if any pairs you got want to bring up or so. I'm going to go through the pound, with the CAD first, the pound, maybe a little bit of the yen. There's some news coming out, so I ain't gonna be getting too buck. Just buck enough. Just buck enough. So you can tell, we checking the news. Based off the news, we got some CAD stuff. The United States had some information coming out. I know holding reports came out today from Bank of America and like Goldman and shit. So everybody waiting to see how that responds. I'm not waiting for that shit to respond. I'm not trying to get in no trade before the news pop out per se. But I am looking to make some noise. Reduce all this shit. All right, we got the CAD up. 2 CAD charts. And once again, if you have any questions, I can see that shit on the YouTube. Dip my. You gotta have your tea. You know what's almost just as important as trading is making sure you're trading in the zone. My trading in the zone, as you can tell, is a cup, something to grub, typically something to smoke, but it's too early right now. I need to get some blue screens before I can think about taking the toke. Who am I lying? I just don't feel like getting up. And so you can hear me so good too. You see, I'm on the blue mic, so you hear this sip. Listen at that. Come on, you know my trade got to be good. You can take a sip like that. So let's say I'm looking at the CAD. We check the news. Normally, top-down analysis, I would start with the month and work my way up and shit like that. But kind of did that already, so I'm gonna go over to the week and see what's going down. Real quick, I can automatically tell that I see an area that is kind of bounced off a couple weeks ago. We was riding this consolidation up, down, up, down, up, down for weeks on end before it finally broke this floor right. Come on. This floor right here, then it broke down right here, and that's kind of consolidating. But it looked like it still got some leg room to go down here. So I think what I'll do is probably back up and maybe draw a chart or something like that, and draw some trend lines and see what's going on. So yeah, I think I'll probably either go down to the day or draw it up on a week. We'll see how it looks. I'm sure. On the day, let's make the day a little bigger. Zoom up, see what's going down. What type of games are being played. Looking. Okay, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Horizontal line, MetaTrader 4, a little slanted line. Gonna draw a little something from here to here. The thing about drawing trend lines, you really want to set it on 2 spots. You really don't want to have to cross. You don't want to, like, you know, interrupt a few candles. You kind of want to just set it on 2 spots, kind of look for a third. I set it on this one, set it on this guy, and from over here, you know, I'm probably gonna go from this low to that low and see what this comes in on it. Wow. All right. That's kind of off a little bit. There we go. As I take a sip. Once again, this is Wednesday, Trading with KB, the Monetary Investment Group. Just getting it started. 17. Thank you for joining me, if you're here. And if not, oh well. Let's see. So I drew my little trend lines real quick, trying to see what it's looking like, see if anything crossing over to a zone. Before I even draw a Fibonacci, because I see a completed trend line, before I even do that, what I realize is that it still got some leg room to go in this little zone area right here. So if it does break, you know, let me go down to the day. I see something already brewing already. And really you start kind of using whatever tools you have. I like using the Fibonacci, support and resistance, trend line, supply and demand, Bollinger Bands. Those are like my arsenal of tools that I'm trying to sharpen every day to get better trading. So right now I use the trend lines. Let's go down to the day, see if anything catches our attention. All right, there's a couple things. I see it's still some leg room before it reaches the bottom of these trend lines, so it's caught in between this little zone, so that's good. How many pips is that? You can use the crosshair and do how many pips from like current price. I'd actually use something like this area right here, just because all these little candles kind of like go through it right here, and this is the furthest body on that candle, this little candle right here. So like from right here to the bottom of this zone, that is Ish Gildo. That's about 184 pips. It says 1,840, but you have to ignore the last decimal to get the actual pip count. So that's what, 184 pips right there. So okay, I'm liking that. This is on the day chart, so if I was to get in there, I had to sit a couple days and shit. So I don't know if I'm ready to sit a couple days. Even though it is Wednesday, it wouldn't be bad to sit for Wednesday to Friday. But I think I might make that decision after the news drops on the CAD, because the news comes out at 9. So I might make that determination then. So let's see, the day is looking good. Let's see. Go on to the 4 hour. Let's still go back to the day. Let's draw up the Fibonacci to see how it's looking. Right now I see a trend, a downtrend from here to here that stopped. So I'm gonna draw the Fibonacci up to see what's going down. The fuck? Oh, there we go. All of a sudden I start hearing my boy Ro voice come in my head real quick. So you see, bro, it was a downtrend, but when it retraced, it went up to 38.2, the minimal retracement. It went up to the minimal retracement, started to come back down, and then it's kind of chilling out between the 0 and the 23. That's really interesting, because it's looking like, I'll put a little horizontal line right there. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's kind of touching all these little areas real quick. So if it goes below this line, I'm looking to get in and ride to this line, which is, if I'm not mistaken, from this green bar to here is about 170 pips. So that's damn good on the day. But we're gonna keep going down to time frames, because I really want to ride this maybe on the hour or 4 hour chart. So it's looking up pretty nice real quick. So I think I'll go down to the 4 hour. But since I got this little horizontal line right here now, I think I'll remove the Fibonacci. But it's interesting to see that it is chilling between the 0 and 23. Also, when Hey, follow through, Jermaine. This is about the screenshot of one of them plates, bro. Follow through. You know what I'm saying? A little hash, bro. A little egg. You know what I'm saying? Potato and whatnot. My nigga, is that sausage? And some sausage? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Macaroni. Also, if you're in a group, we've sent these to you guys. This is really helpful. I print it out and do it by hand, but when I'm doing like a single pair, you know what I'm saying, this is real live to fill out. It's just real quick hitting information, what pair, what time frame I'm looking at, what I'm using, current price, entry, you know what I'm saying, just some cool shit to remember. This decision part is really live because this helps you get your trading flow down. You have to get your trading rules and all that good shit. Now you need to know, like, okay, well, how do I execute the news? You remember earlier I had up my trading plan, and I went through like the implementation part about what I do, you know, check news, top down, use my tools and all that good shit, whatever. But this really just helps you do it while you're actually in the moment, while you're actually trading. So you can identify what you see, predict what you think, decide how you're gonna act, and execute your trade. And so, like, all this really comes in the monetary investment group package. So it's real helpful. Your trading plan, your pair peep sheet. Then I got this behemoth of a motherfucker that I ain't even go break out all the way yet. It's the monetary cheat sheet. It's color coded. Color coded, bitch. You got the monetary percent plan. Today is the 17th. And so today you see we need to get $178 to be at 20% to continue along with it or whatever. You know, the account I started, I think on the first webinar, the account we started, you know, with 100 some change or whatever, and it's just been going up steady, slowly but surely for the month. And so you see right here, everything's color coded by broker. We got FX Glory and JFX and Simple and shit like that. And I actually think I just shared this to the group right before I started the monetary webinar. So if you guys want to go check that out, go look it out. It's not completed, but it's updated. Every update gets a little bit more live. So check it out and enjoy. So we know that, well, I need to finish doing, see how many, what's my pip range, so I know what I need. But I know one thing, no matter how many pips it is, I'm going to need it to equal $178. So whatever lot size I do, I know I need to get it to 178 bucks. So we'll convert that to pips and shit after we do our chart. So it's the day chart. Let's see. Matter of fact, let's put another horizontal line at this 23. That 23 might serve as a good stop loss if I do get in at a sale, because that's a whole new level. So once I know it gets over there, it's not going down like I thought it was going. I need to abort mission. So whatever I do, if I plan on getting in right now, I've decided that I'm going to be a bear, which is selling position, and so I need to be able to sustain 95, 80, what's that shit? Let's say 90 pips for sure. So I need something to be able to sustain 90 pips if I'm going for like 160 or something like that. That's the whole pip range. So I doubt if I'm going for the whole pip range. So I'll probably go for like 100 and maybe risk maybe half of that. So maybe risking about 50 or something like that. So I have it in my mind so far that I want to risk about 50 for 100. Now typically I do a 3-1 winning ratio. So I normally risk like 10 pips for 30, or I risk 30 pips for 90. So, you know, I'm still figuring it out, still going down. But we went through the week, we went through the day, let's go down to the 4 hour. And this is why it's so important that you guys realize from the monetary rules of engagement, understand why one pair is enough. Like, even though you can trade a shit ton of pairs at all times, shit, you see we're going through one pair. We walking it down from the week, the day, the 4 hour, trend lines, Fibonacci, and just interpreting. You don't want to rush yourself. As soon as you start rushing yourself and not being patient, the market go smack your hand and go take some of your bread. So before that shit happen, you know, saying be cool, take your time. The trade is always gonna be there. The pairs are always 24/7 shit. It's gonna be there. Take your time and walk it down and go get your pip. Now, once you figure out what you're gonna do, don't be shaky. You know what I'm saying? Pull the trigger. As soon as you see the white in the eyes, fire. Pull your trade and live with the results. Win, lose, draw down, positive. Live with the results. Know what your 1 entry is. Know what your 2 exit plan is. Mind you, that's on the monetary rules of engagement too. Excuse me. Let's see, 4 hour. Let's see. Let's move this Fibonacci because it's in my goddamn way. I said let's move the Fibonacci. There we go. All right. Zoom in, see what's going on in this 4 hour. Oh yeah, this 4 hours looking nice. It's a nice little consolidation right here. You know, I'm not going to pretend to know what's going to happen when it's in a consolidation. But here's one thing I do know. This line that I have right here has been often respected. So once this line is not respected, I'm expecting it to go down to that green line that I have down there. So that's gangster. You know what also I'm seeing too up here? There's another roof. And before you know it, we are talking about support and resistance. Support being the floor, resistance being the ceiling right now. So it's consolidating, but if I wanted to, I could put in a buy and expect it to go up or so. But it's right on the level of the Fibonacci line, if I'm not mistaken. So I think I'll let it play out for a second. I think I'll do something to the line of, I'll put a line right here, and I'll put a line right here. And mind you, I'm expecting to be a bear, so I actually might wait till it clears that bottom line, which is funny because that's the 4-hour chart. Maybe that's around, it's one more hour before full candle starts. So I think I'll peep it and see how it goes for the next hour or so. And as far as the top line, you know, if it does end up reversing, I might get in and ride from there to the top. How many pips is that? You know, that's 127 pips. I wouldn't want all that many pips. I would take, give me about 80, 90 pips, risk 30. You know what I'm saying? That'll do me well. And then you come over to the cheat sheet. So I know I'm targeting, it looks like I'm targeting somewhere between 80 and 100 pips no matter what play goes. So what's that? The CAD. We said today we need, how much do we need? We need 178 bucks to peep 20% to keep the hope alive. So let's see. 100 pips. Giving me 100 and how much was that again? 178. 178. But of course. So I need about somewhere between a 0.20 and a 0.25 lot size. So I'm thinking, all right, fuck it. I'm going to go with a 0.23 Jordan. Go with a 0.23 Jordan lot size to get my 100 pips. Now, if I'm shooting for 100 pips, I have to know I'm risking somewhere between 30 and 50 pips to go get that, just in case. It's a cost to finding out if this trade's going to work. And see, once I go up here and I'll be like, okay, well, 50 pips, somewhere between that is risking 79 to 99 bucks. And the question is, can your account sustain it? Can you be wrong on this trade and trade again? If you can't be wrong on this trade and trade again, your lot size is too high. You need to dial it back a little bit. And worst case scenario, losing 50 pips on that will be almost a bill or so. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to lose a bill on my account. That's almost losing 10%. So, you know what I'm saying? I think I'll go for a 0.20. 0.20 would be nice, be safe or whatever. And I'm sure this won't be my only trade of the day. So I have another chance to get my 20%. That's also too, depending on how many pairs you get comfortable trading, you could take the burden off of one pair, one trade, and say, well, you know what? Instead of wanting this 20% on this one trade, let me get 10% on this trade, and I have to do another this trading session. Sometimes I like to go for it all if I see it on the chart, but let your chart tell you how many pip range is, and let your target, your percentage be your TP. You know, so whatever your percentage is based off of how much you put in a day, let this amount be your TP. You know what I'm saying? Don't go for the gusto. Whatever percentage you've agreed upon that your winning edge allows you to get, make sure that's what you know, extracting from the market. So I've already said I think I'm going to do a 0.20 lot size today. And I'm peeping the CAD real quick. You know, since I'm peeping the CAD and I've already kind of scoped it real quick, and I know news drops in about an hour or so, I'm going to set some alerts on the CAD. And I'm glad I got you guys here to set these alerts. So first off, I'm going to go down to the 30. Yeah, I'm just going to go down to the 30. Only reason I'm going down to the 30 so I can see a little bit more clear these numbers right here, because I'm getting ready to set an alert that will alarm and when it's time for me to get in and get this paper. So you come down here to your alerts. Matter of fact, if you haven't set an alert, mind you, this is being recorded and will be shared to the group. But always, when you're trying to set your alerts, you got to come over here to the notifications and shit. Enable push notifications. You know, and this little Meta quote ID, this is actually on your phone's MetaTrader 4 app. You go to settings and it'll give you this little code. You put in the code on your on the computer and hit test, and it'll come to your phone. So if I put test, I thought some gangster shit was gonna come on. You know, I got my shit on vibrate because I'm doing a webinar. That's what you're supposed to do. But you come over here and put in your code, and it comes over to your phone. Then all of a sudden you can get notifications to your phone. I won't be doing notifications to my phone because I'm not on the move. I'm going to be doing it to the highest or whatever. So you come over here and hit your create. Now, I'm thinking about selling. And we sell at, one second, oops. This is really not, There we go. So I'm thinking about selling, and we sell at the bid price. The bid price, so we bid right here. I want to be notified when the bid is lower than, you know what I'm saying? So if you remember elementary, when the alligator mouth is eating the bid, that means the bid is greater than. And so when it's not eating it, this bid is less than. So I want to be notified when the bid price is less than. I'll say 123, it's 124,305, and that's because that's the kind of floor that is set in the little 30-minute or whatever. And you can move it around after you drag it, but that's a good place for me to set it right now, so I can get notified when it's starting to move down, so I can get in and get on some paper. So that's 1.24305. And make sure it's the CAD pair, sound. You can switch the notification if you want to. Bid lower than. All right. There we go. So I'll drag it down a little bit less. So now I can go to a whole nother pair and I'll be notified. And see down here, it has 50 limit. So it'll go off 50 times before it stops. As soon as the price hits this little level over here. So that's gangster. So I'm cool. And just to cover my own ass, and just in case I am wrong or whatever, I'm gonna put another alert right above the resistance line. So just let me know if news breaks out and it goes the whole completely other way. I get notified both ways. And I'm probably gonna put a different sound just so I ain't caught off guard, no bullshit like that. So once again, right click, create. Same thing. I want to know when the bid is greater than. I think I'll say 1.24585, then I'll drag it from there. 1.24585. Be greater. Oh no, I gotta change the alert from alert to. Matter of fact, I don't know, news or some shit. You know, something like that. Bam. Yeah. So now I didn't walk the CAD down from the week. I said drew my shit on the week. Peep the day. I drew the Fibonacci on the day at one point. Peep the 4. Matter of fact, before I get out of here, let me draw the Fibonacci on the 4 hour just to make sure what's going down. You know what I'm saying? So look, if I get notified right here, that lets me know it's going to go to 38. And so if it does break here, I can ride the 38 to the 50, maybe a little bit more, depending on how crazy it's getting, because we got some major news dropping. And if it does break this floor of 0 and this little line right here, I'm going to get notified. Though I'm actually going to get notified way up here. Let me drag it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Drag it down a little bit. You know, so once it hits here, I'll get notified it's going that way, and maybe I get in earlier than I wanted to and ride for a couple more pips, or just ride to my target point, because I'm not trying to catch the whole wave or no shit like that. You know, I feel like when you're trying to catch the whole wave, you get caught reaching. You know, as he takes a pause for some of this hash again. And that's the beauty of trading. It's really what you make it. Because I'm on a 4-hour chart and I'm saying wait. But if you had if it was your chart, you can go down to the 5. It looked like this motherfucker's in a short. You know, it's in like way a little short. If you go down to the 5-minute chart, expand that motherfucker a little bit. You see, you got a pin bar right here. Would have told you to get in on the sale. And so you would have actually got in right here and kind of rode it somewhere down here. You know, and how many pips is that? From, let's say, right here to right here. See, that's 16 pips. That ain't bad at all. That's not bad at all. Now, here's the thing about when you're getting small pips like that, you need to have your strategy to a little T, because, you know, you go and get 16 pips on that one. And mind you, that's the whole range of 16 pips. So maybe you get 10 out of that. And to get 10 pips, you know, for that to get your percentage, you need to have something on the line, or, you know, risk for it. So your lot size. It's just, it's like scalping 101. But you would always go bigger lot size, smaller time frame. As whatchamacallit, one of the founders, Drew, always says when he's scalping, you know, when you go let it sit for a while, a smaller time frame, so you got leg room to let it play out. And when you scalping, big lot size, limited time, and know what your entry is, know when you go get out, win or lose. Well, the CAD is drawn up. We're going to get up out here on the CAD and come on over to the pound and see what's going on with the pound. Matter of fact, let's go back over here and we will reduce the CAD and bring up the pound. All right. No. You're supposed to be down here. There we go. All right. Now we got the pound up. Same thing. I know Euro had some news last night, and while it's technically not Great Britain, you know, all the motherfuckers right next door to each other, so when one of them have some news, it kind of affect the other one a little bit. Matter of fact, I was in the London session on the pound franc. That had went down a couple pips, and the euro yen. Yeah, I think the euro yen I got in a little bit on just a little bit for a few pips or so. Monetary Woman actually brought the euro yen to my attention a couple days ago. That's a cool little pair to trade in London so far. I mean, everybody have their own opinion of pairs, but in the London session, that little motherfucker be steady, then just pop for a while. You know, this is a nice little scalping pair so far. As she takes another bite of cash. Goddamn. You know, as soon as you finish your plate, you mad as hell because ain't no more on the plate. Whole ass shit there, boy. But all good things must come to an end. One day this webinar will come to an end, maybe in an hour and some change. So let's see. Let's get into the pound. There we go. Matter of fact, let's zoom out, see what's going on. Even though it's really important to zoom in and see what candlesticks patterns you see and shit like that, don't get me wrong, that's live, but really the livest thing you want to do, I mean, not livest, but you really want to do that and be able to back your screen up and see what's going on. It's really important to back your screen up just to get an overall view of what's going on before you get caught up in a trend you had no idea about. Really? It looked like it broke over a zone. Don't get me wrong, you normally draw it up just like this, but it looks like, well, no, this is the month chart. Never mind, I ain't playing with the month chart. If this was like the hour chart or something, I would draw it up like that and be like, ooh, it's outside of a zone, wait for it to come back. But since it's the month chart, I will respect my situation and draw it right up on there. Zoom out some more. I want to draw a bottom one. Yeah, I think I'll draw one from that way. It's a good thing. You ain't really got to force your chart. If you see it, you see it. If you don't see it, you don't see it, you know. And I think the only rule when it comes to drawing trend lines, because it's really like an art, not a science, is really just making sure you don't interrupt too many lines. You know what I'm saying? Your trend line can't be like that. Now, if we drawing the flag, you can thug that bitch out. But, like, you know, your trend line, you can't be interrupting shit just to get to your point. Like, your point right here and you're going through stuff or whatever. So I put it on this little edge right here. Make sure it touched another spot. And I went looking for a third, you know. So it kind of find me. Yeah, there we go. That spot's respected, that one, and it almost touches down right there. So that's a cool little low zone drawn up. On the day chart, the day chart is beautiful because you see this long ass candle right here. It looked like it was at the bottom. You see it touched the bottom a couple times, bounced up, touched the bottom, bounced up. You know what I'm saying? Not really, didn't touch the bottom all the way. Tried it here, tried it, then it went up, you know, chill for a second, and went up again. Then look at these two dojis right here. Zoom in. There's two doji patterns right there. So we end up getting, like, it's a probability thing. While you can't necessarily say, oh, I know for a fact that from here it's going to go down. It's a, what's more likely to happen? Well, it's two scenarios that could play out. It could go up and finish to the top and test the top and then come back down. which I'm really thinking for. I'm just looking like a short, you know, that'd be gangster. But for me to short the pound, I would have to confirm. Let's see how the dollar chart's looking. Is the dollar going up? Because that will give me second confirmation that, okay, this pound should really be going down. To me, this looks like a rally that's forming a base that's going down. But dojis really can't be bases. Not like all dojis really can't be bases, because dojis really just like, oh, nigga, some shit about to happen. You know, so, and plus we're on the day chart, but I will make a mental note like, this show looking like a pinball right here, because it is. I like tail with pinball, followed by my Jesus Christ doji, followed by an inverted Jesus Christ doji. Like, that's looking like it's gonna sink. But I'll keep on scrolling it down. We don't want to get too excited and jump before it's time to shoot. Let's see, now we're on the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart is beautiful because I see an uptrend that just finished and went into consolidation. Isn't that beautiful? So now I can drop my Fibonacci up. Bottom to top because it's a uptrend. And what you look at that, it's chilling between the 0 and the 23. I just got my support and resistance. See how it went from trend lines to Fibonacci to support and resistance. I set my alerts and come back for it when it's time. And plus, well, I'm going to set my support and resistance and see how many pips that is. So see what type of light size that is. You don't want to have to figure out your lot size right when you're ready to get in the trade. That shit's, it's nowhere to live, B. You know what I'm saying? You want to know off bat. You want to know off bat what's going down. So this range is about 100 pips range or whatever, 4-hour chart. If it breaks the roof and goes up, I can catch somewhere like 97 pips. So I'll reduce that to like 50. So I only got to get half of it. That way I'll be able to let it confirm instead of getting in right here and waiting for it to turn around on my ass. I can give it some leg room and I can let it. I can get in maybe like right here, right to like right here. That's 50 pips. You know what I'm saying? I'll go over here for my 50 pips. That is the pound. For 50 pips to give me my $178 today, that's a 0.35 lot size. So automatically I know if I end up being a bull on this chart, I'm going in with a 0.35. It's almost 100 pip range. I'm getting half of that at 50 and still come away with my 20% and be done. And that's in the group, we call that bag secured. But bag's not secured yet. Bag is just peeped. So you got to peep and then go eat. So let's see. If I get in at a sell, right to the 38. But here's the cool part, like actually, like I'd get an alert or something like right here, but I really wouldn't want to get into maybe like right here, because you got to know if you can ride it to the 38. If you get to the 38 and break the 38, you can get to the 50. And if you get to the 50 and break the 50, you can get to the 68. So what I'd probably do is like from that point to the 38, it's like 41 pips. I would peep and see. I wouldn't let this go below 25, I'll tell you that. So automatically I know my target needs to be 30 pips on the first play. So 30 pips on the first play, make sure that gets me 20%. And then when it's consolidating, either I put in the trailing stops because I don't want to lose my 30 pips, or shit, I'm watching the chart, I let it ride and see how it's going to feel. But a lot of times if you get to that 38, because that's the minimum retracement, it's going to get to that 50. And when you get to that 50, you can almost assure somewhere between the 60 or whatever. But here's the thing though. For it to get to its minimum retracement, we really need to see, is this in retracement? Because technically it's not in retracement, it's in consolidation. So a lot of times we get in like, oh hell yeah, it's going down or whatever. It ain't even broke the 23. So I know for a fact I'm gonna put an alarm right under the 23, probably right under this little doji right here. Matter of fact, that's exactly, I'll put this line right there. And this is when I want to be notified that it's going down. So when it's notified it's going down, I can confirm it's breaking and go up. Now, if it's not a retracement, shit, I know for a fact that I can get in maybe somewhere like either here or here and ride it up those 50 pips up there. So either way, you can eat. That's what's so live about trading versus like investing and shit like that. In investing, you know, you just hoping that whatever you bought and hold on is going up. In trading, we don't give a rat's ass up, down. Like, look at the world freak out over Bitcoin right now. And I'm glad I brought up Bitcoin because the pound is basically drawn up. And I really don't do more than 2 or 3 pairs per session. And so I've done the CAD and the pound, and I'm going to come back and put some alerts on the pound. But I'm in no rush because if you've been looking at it, I've been checking the charts out on the 4-hour. Trading mid-candle is silly. I'm not saying you can't do it, but trading mid-candle is silly. So I know for a fact that I'm probably not going to make a move until 8 o'clock or until one of my zones is approached on. So pound, CAD, both drawn up. I'm definitely going to peep And see, now here's the thing too, is that the CAD has the US in the US in the front and the CAD in the back, and the pound has the pound in the front, USD in the back. So here's the thing, you can't short both of them. That's the thing, you can't short both of them, because if you short the CAD, that means that you believe the US dollar is going down and the CAD is going up. If I short the pound, that means the pound is going up. The pound is going down, the US is going up or whatever. So right there, I know that the dollar index is going to play a part in deciding which way I go on these trades. Of course, I'll let news pop off and go that way, but just like then, you just seen how we're going to tie in the dollar index, some trend lines, Fibonacci, your support and resistance. And it's not really about copying anyone's tools or so, but we all got a toolbox that got some of the same tools and shit, whether it be support and resistance, see the flag, get the bag. You know, we all have them and we just use them differently and stuff. So I know I'm right now for to pull up JAFX, and I know I'm going to look at Bitcoin because I know everybody tripping on Bitcoin, and I'm going to look at the dollar index on the 30-minute to see how the dollar going, because the dollar will tell the tale on every pair that has the dollar involved in it. Let's see. Control M is a shortcut for the market watch. Shit, and I need time frames and stuff. Time frames and line steady. You know what I'm saying? Charts. Standard. There it goes. Beginning to look like Christmas. So first thing I want to do real quick is go check out the dollar index. What that motherfucker at? There it is, the dollar. Go over to the 30. Zoom out a little bit. Oh shit. Like I was saying, oh, it's like it's going up, whatever. It went up, had a little retracement real quick, went back up, whatever. But look at these two. That's a pinball and almost like a doji real quick. Lightweight, not a doji, but all I know is that the dollar rejected hard in the last 30 minutes off of this spot right here. This spot right here, the dollar ain't been wanting to fuck with. And as a result, the dollar has been retreating from this spot for some reason. So it looks like the dollar's going down. So if the dollar's going down, that means my CAD short might be in effect. And it might look like the pound got some leg room to go. Now, remember when we was looking at the pound and we was on like the day chart or some shit? Oh, this is the wrong broker. There we go. When we was on the pound and we was looking and we said the pound still got some leg room to go up. So that would make sense. If the dollar went down, the pound would go up to finish right here and then start going down. So this lets me know right now that I was getting ready to get in on the short. I might have been too early on that short. That's why you really want to just go through your motions, go through the shit that work for you, and don't rush it. Your 20%, you can be waiting all day and don't see an entry. And as soon as you get in, you catch a motherfucking mean ass rally or drop, and you get your percentage in 5 minutes. Or you can get in now at 7:40 and your percentage don't come to tonight. It's about being ready, you know what I'm saying? Being willing and ready, opportunity. Ain't no such thing as luck, you know what I'm saying? Just being ready for your trading opportunity. I know my lot sizes I want in on these. I know what I'm looking for. I got some alerts set up, so I'm just ready. And then when it's time to shoot, shit, if I miss, okay, no problem. My account, I can be wrong and then go again. You know, don't rob yourself of the opportunity to trade again. That's why risk management and lot size is coming so important, because once you don't factor that in, you make one bad trade and all of a sudden you can't trade again. And then as soon as the move that was for you come around, you ain't doing shit but on the sideline. It's a terrible feeling, and I'm speaking from experience. And I'm speaking from experience, man. Let's see. So what was we at? We was looking at the buck. That's the day on the buck, and you can see that it went through a rally or whatever, but it's kind of having a hard time on that little level right there. So it was I was on the 30, because I'm trying to see why the dollar. There we go. Yeah. So worst case scenario, I'll put a little line right there and see how the dollar's doing. See if it really retreats there. And last but not least, I'm gonna look at the Bitcoin. Everybody's tripping on Bitcoin. Let's see what's happening with old Bitcoin. It's so crazy. Like, I ain't tripping on Bitcoin because I necessarily only trade rallies in crypto. So I was doing this. I'm just letting it go down. I'm just letting it do its thing. And shit with Ripple, even though I've actually invested in Ripple and this went down a lot or whatever, like I bought in like 89 cents. You know, last time I checked, it was like $1. So I'm still in profit, you know, and you have to believe in it for a reason. So if you Whenever you get into a trade and investment and you feel your hand getting shaky, just remember why you entered the trade. Remember why you got into the investment. Don't let your fears get the best of you and take out and nickel and dime your account down when it would have been butters. I don't know. So why is it what's good? Why everybody tripping on Bitcoin? It look like it's doing what it's supposed to do. We're drawing the Fibonacci up. I decided to pick this point, but you can pick this point or this point. That's when the uptrend really started. You know what? I'll just pick this point, which is this lowest point right here. Come on. And went to this highest point right there. Highest point was like 20 racks or something like that. And look at that on the Fibonacci. There's no need to trip. It went down. It hit its minimum retracement of 38. It was supposed to do that. And then it's at the 61.8. Cause for concern is when it goes outside of the 61.8. Then we already know that we're in a whole nother trend you can get in or so. But I don't understand the problem. You know what I'm saying? Probably just, and then you really in a great ass spot too if you looking to trade it, because you really can wait till this joker retraces to the 50 and just get in from the 50, you know, up there, whatever. This the demo? Okay, that's the demo. Let me put in a 0.01 and see what that'll do. If you get, let's just say you got in right here and you roll to the 50. You know what I'm saying? That's $163. $163 off of a 0.01 lot size. I mean, I wouldn't get in right now because you want to let it finish playing out, because even though it tapped to 60, it might tap to 60 a little bit more and go down or whatever, and that can be taken, you know, that can snatch you out a little bit. But shit, you wait for the right time and get back in on Bitcoin somewhere either between the 60 and the 50, or a safer spot maybe between the 50 and the 38, and shit, you be good to go. So while everybody else panicking over Bitcoin, you just gonna draw up your Fibonacci and see that it ain't no cause for concern. You know what I'm saying? Just hold steady at all. Yeah, hold steady indeed. Let's see. You heard that? It's a motherfucking alert. Somebody's got action. Looks like the CAD. The CAD father. Hello, CAD father. I know. Now, normally, when I hear my alert, I would rush and go jump in real quick. But I got my hand smacked a few times. So, what I'm going to do, remember, this is the line that I'm looking for entry or whatever. I'm just kind of moving this one down to see right what a line is. See, right here, this line is kind of really respected. So, it's starting to go down. But let's see. And plus, it's 7:45. I know the last 15 minutes of the count will kind of be acting fool. So, I'm going to let that one go down. But I drag my alert down a little bit just to see. But this looks like it's approaching my area to get in at my 0.20 lot size. That I will ride for at least 15%, maybe 20%, and hell, maybe even 10% if I feel like trading again. It kind of depends on how you feel. So the CAD is definitely making this move so far, and I'm fucking with that. Any activity from your yen this morning, Ash? It was just slow boogie. It's probably because all that U.S. news dropped this morning, and they still got some CAD news to drop. What, at the end? She's at the just a shot at bang bang to look your way. I like the way you work it. It's looking well. I will say this too, with the CAD having news shortly. if I do get in at 8 o'clock, it's not really advised to get in too heavy when news getting ready to drop, because news can snatch it one way, then it corrects the way that it was supposed to go, and you'll be looking shit faced. So I think what I might do is, if 8 o'clock comes and it's hit my new alert, I might get in on a small lot size and ride it down, and while the news is happening, and just peep it if I need to get the fuck out, or increase lot size. I think I might do that. I will say this: last Friday, but see, every moment in the market is unique. So you start trusting. Well, last week this happened. All of a sudden you get your hand popped. So because last week I was able to get in before news popped, and it broke that way. You know what I'm saying? And it was really kind of some of the same shit. Like I had seen, it was like a pinball up here, and then like see this little it came down this little downtrend and finished up whatever. Then went into consolidation, and then broke back or whatever. But it's about to be 8 o'clock. We're gonna see how this shit gonna fly. And this time we'd like to give you guys a words from my sponsors as I take a smoke. Also, this is a good time to preload your lot size. You can preload your lot size. I think I might go in with a 0.10 real fast before news break. Tell you the good thing about riding the news though, you ride that news right. News, the motherfucker just shake. You know, it shakes and goes crazy. And I know I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes, depending on like if I feel it, I'll put in just a lot size that I'm comfortable with spending the price. Like if it goes up here, I'm comfortable with losing 35 pips. So you're losing at 35 pips, 30 pips. What's that? 0.10. You know what I'm saying? I'm comfortable with putting 30 on the line for a news drop that will take it, because news drops take that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's possible 220. Like I'm willing to spend the price to, you know what I'm saying, 30, 50 pips to go see that. And what's that? On 220 pips on a 0.10 lot size. Would you look at that? It'll be over my 20% for the day. That's why you got to be willing to shoot your shot, baby. You goddamn right. Let that the new candle drop on the hour, and that news pop off. I don't mind. Red beans and gravy. I ain't too lazy. Now I will say this too about why I decided to be on the 4-hour time frame. I think I want to make the 1 hour my time frame. I think the 1 hour time frame is gonna be perfect for me, because I feel like when I trade on the 30 that I have to go get the same amount with least amount of pips. And while that sounds quicker, you know, it's a little bit more on the line or whatever. But the 4 hour, you know, you're gonna let that play out for sometimes at least 4 or 6 hours or whatever. But that hour, I think that hour gonna be just right. But I'm working my way down from that or whatever, because I want to be able to really hit the hour. But the 4 hour for me is if I'm gonna go get 90 pips, the 4 hour count, the 4 hour chart is really cool for me to get 90 pips. And if I get 90 pips, you know what I'm saying, like if I'm getting 90 pips, I'm risking 30, so I can put a bigger lot size on depending on how I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So I can put a 0.35 and go get 350, which would be way more than my 20%. So that's why I really kind of like on the 4-hour time frame right now. But eventually I want to get down to the hour tough. We're in that hour time frame, knocking out, 50 to 75 to 100 pips and getting my 20% every day. That's eventually the goal, but we got to crawl before we walk. Oh, I'll tell you what as well. Since we're in the New York trading session, any pair that's connected to the USD is a good pair to trade. We say trade pairs in this session. So Euro USD is a good pair to move right now, especially this period because the New York and the London is overlapping. So the Euro slow ass is a good pair to trade. It's just slow. The pound's a good pair to trade. The yen's a good pair to trade. The CAD's a good pair to trade. Just anything that's connected with the USD. And there are also a few pairs that are good to trade that don't connect with the USD in this trading session. The Euro Yen's a good pair to trade from 3 a.m. to damn near noon. That's the one I was talking about earlier because it was like that hoe has a mean ass range because both the Euro and the Yen are heavily affected by the dollar. So them pairs traded against each other, even move in this period. The same thing with the pound yen because the pound yen is heavily involved with the U.S. so it moves. Same thing with the euro pound and the CAD like CAD yen. So it's a few pairs that you'd be surprised to move in the London session that don't even have USD in there. But if that other side of it is like heavily involved with USD, you'll be able to get in or something. So that lets you know right there that that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's 12 pairs. And if you know what 12 pairs I'm talking about, I'm referring to this list that I'm looking at. See, I got a cheat sheet on the other side of the screen. Y'all can't see over some of my shits. And all these pairs. Now, does that mean you need to look at 13 charts? Nah. You can look at the dollar index and kind of get a feel on how all they going. 6 minutes before a new candle, the CAD is just moving on down like we were supposed to. The pound's at a doji on the 4-hour chart. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, it is the last 6 minutes of 4 hours, and it's a doji. Like, candlesticks are so fucking loud. Like, it tells you a story that, like, them boys been battling for the whole 4 hours and nobody won. It's a stalemate. It's an absolute stalemate. So it means we've been on for about an hour. Text message. Yes. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go and wrap it up. I think I was supposed to be on the 9, but fuck that. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. We went over the CAD, the pound, kind of even showed Bitcoin. Drew up the Fibonacci. Here's the good part. If you're in the group, once I enter the trades, I'll screenshot the entry and whatnot, and I'll go ahead and share what happens. And if you're not in the group, this is a great time to get in the group. We have a $100 special. This actual webinar is really only for the group only, but I decided to share it with everybody since in Houston it's kind of moving slow because the snow flare has got everybody down. The Great Storm of 2018, or so they call it. So I tell you what, go ahead and just make sure you set those alerts. If you're in the group, make sure you understand your lot size and what you're targeting a day. And don't let one bad trade get you down. Babe, if you do more than 4, go take a nap, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Call it a day. And just chase those blue screens and chase pips, not bread. So with that being said, I'm going to go and hop out and let these trades get to my alerts and go smoke another bowl. So once again, it's your boy KB of the Monetary Men and the Monetary Investment Group. And Monetary Women, even though I'm not a Monetary Woman, but I'm shouting them out because they be holding it down. So y'all fuck with us and learn with us, trade with us. Yeah.